Hello everyone. Today I want to analyze the CBC's case and provide a solution. The main issue I identified is employees refuse to speak up while encountering discrimination in the workplace, as voices are risky. This is mainly because they either realize the rule of the game or be afraid of the consequence. They do not think their voices could be heard. Instead, they may be viewed as a troublemaker or complainer and get a poor performance assessment, not be given a chance at a promotion, or even be fired. In this case, Boro suffered emotional abuse from Gomeshi. Even though she is the victim, she knows that she will be the one being fired when there is a conflict. Compared to Gomeshi, who is a talent of the company and has a strong background, Boro's job is relatively unstable and unsecured. Thus, she never registers a formal complaint outside of her department. Since the job opportunity is so important and the company is relatively large, she is afraid of losing the job and making an impact on her future career. As mentioned earlier, employees feel unsafe speaking out. We should try to make them feel as safe as possible in order to hear from them. Consequently, the first solution I came out with is to distribute an anonymous survey regarding the hosts annually, and also set up some mailboxes in the CBC building to let employees directly talk with Norani. They could also choose to write anonymously. They could reveal the problem to Norani, and Norani could realize how Gomeshi's actions influence other employees and which aspect needs to be improved. In this way, employees could feel safe while expressing their opinions regarding Gomeshi. They do not need to worry that their careers or lives would be impacted by speaking out. Ashford indicates that the degree of how safe it is to speak out is what drives whether employees speak or stay silent. If more anonymous communication channels are set within CBC, employees are more willing to express their opinions regarding the working environment and speak out about the unfair experience. Meanwhile, this could improve the employee retention rate. Previously, Boro quit the job while suffering emotional abuse from Gomeshi. If Norani could know the problems that Boro encountered earlier, Boro may not leave her job. Employee surveys could help Norani to solve problems and improve their satisfaction rate. In this way, employees could be more motivated and fewer people want to quit CBC. However, there are also some drawbacks to this solution. Firstly, it takes a lot of time and cost to conduct the survey. Extra labor hours and costs are required to analyze the data in order to receive opinions regarding Gomeshi. The overall profit generated by CBC will be reduced. Secondly, if Norani does not take actions regarding employees' feedback, employees may feel like their voices are being ignored. Consequently, they may refuse to complete the survey. Norani could not receive any feedback, and employees do not trust CBC anymore. The second solution that I came out with is to set up an independent department to supervise all the employees' actions. This department will be responsible for solving the problems between employees, like emotional or physical abuse. When employees feel uncomfortable with Gomeshi, they could contact the staff in this department. After hearing the comments and requests from the employees, the staff in this department will talk with Gomeshi. Meanwhile, all the employees' remuneration will be linked to their performance. There are several advantages to implementing this strategy. Firstly, employees in this department could act without considering Gomeshi's strong background. According to Deterred and Trevino, a major factor in employee silence is the belief that speaking out is pointless. Just like in this case, Norani's job required him to align his interests with Gomeshi's. He should try to make Gomeshi keep a good mind since Gomeshi is so important to the company. Thus, although Boro talks with her boss Norani several times, there are no improvements. However, if this independent department could be set up, the staff could act directly. Secondly, the behavior of Gomeshi could be constrained, since Gomeshi's remuneration is linked to other employees' opinions. If he keeps doing this, other employees could report to the department, and the earnings Gomeshi receives will be reduced. However, there are also some drawbacks. Firstly, the independence of the department only holds true in an ideal situation. The executive who has a good relationship with Gomeshi may still control the operation of this department. If employees in the department decide to punish Gomeshi, this action may make an impact on those employees themselves and cause the company to lose profits. Consequently, employees' voices are still too hard to be heard, and regulations seem to be useless. Secondly, it is difficult to make both Gomeshi and other employees satisfied. If the staff in the independent department address all the problems related to Gomeshi, this will inevitably lead to disputes with Gomeshi. This may cause Gomeshi to feel unsatisfied and want to change his job. However, the overall goal of the company is to maximize profits. Gomeshi's program brings lots of money and popularity to CBC. How to find the balance point between the interests of other employees and keeping Gomeshi in CBC should be considered carefully. The solution I will choose is setting up an independent department to monitor all the employees' performance. Walker and Hamilton discovered that when workers saw internal process as unfair and their own influence as weak, they were less inclined to address concerns internally. In order for employees to feel that they are being treated fairly and their voices could be heard, they could also vote for a leader to monitor the daily operation of the department. The independent department is monitored by the CEO and a representative directly. Also, staff in this department are required to keep the conversation with employees within the department. Consequently, employees could communicate their problems regarding Gomeshi or other people without worrying about making an impact on their future or career. Moreover, the remuneration of employees is linked with their performance. If Gomeshi keeps abusing others, his bonus will be reduced. This strategy should restrict his behavior. In this way, employees' voices could be heard and problems could be solved on time. The satisfaction rate of employees could increase and the working environment within CBC is improved. Finally, I made a detailed action plan. Firstly, CBC will set up an independent department to monitor the performance of all the employees. The leader of the department will be selected by all the employees. If any employees suffer any problem, they could communicate with the staff in this department. Staff will solve the problems on time and continue observing the subsequent events. Meanwhile, all the issues will be reported to both the leader and CEO of CBC directly each week. If the leader and CEO find the issue is important or those perpetrators still make no change, the remuneration of those employees will be reduced and they may even be fired. The main expense of this process is labor costs and time costs. Extra staff is required to set up the new department, and CEO also requires to spend time knowing the problems that employees encounter. The only concern I have is whether or not the staff in this department could be able to keep the conversation completely confidential. If they are voluntary or be forced to reveal the conversation to people outside the department, employees will not feel safe anymore to speak out. They may become unwilling to communicate again. That's all. Thank you.